The reason we moved up here from downtown is that we had this beautiful studio apartment with this massive terrace, but it only had one 3-foot wide closet. And even though I have a couple of Prada suits, which is basically my wardrobe, Fritz has about 30 million pieces of clothing. We were forced out for lack of closet space. So here we have 7 closets. I get one and he has the rest. We're thought of probably as minimalists. We like to create simple answers for people, but we want that simple answer to be elevated and interesting. Our book on MR Architecture and Decor came out about 5 years ago, and it is a collection of our residential projects. I want to make sure to highlight the incredible effort from William Kluges in my office, who really lorded over that book day and night.
My book I did with a good friend and colleague, Rebecca Robertson. We did it together, and it's called Collected.
Hi, I'm David Mann. I'm the principal and founder of MR Architecture and Decor.
I'm Fritz Karsh. I do something different every day.
They opened MR Architecture Decor in 1995, and we had pretty much a steady climb ever since. In the beginning, it was pretty much 50-50 with retail and people's homes. Most of our work is in the city where the Hamptons are upstate. Previous owners moved in when the building was brand new. In fact, they bought it from a plan, and it really hadn't been changed much since 1966. So it was wall-to-wall carpeted, which completely protected all the floors, and it had sort of a late 80s style of furniture. Really not our style. And our lifestyle is relatively simple. It's just the two of us, but we wanted a place for guests to come, and we wanted a place for all of our books, which we have a lot of. It started out with my original vision, and Fritz has been able to layer over that. Hi, I'm David. Welcome. I'm standing in the entryway of our apartment. Here we have a little bit of an eclectic mix. We have a James Mott chair with the original fabric and an antique Chinese table. This is a Kiko Lopez mirror. I love working with Kiko Lopez, and this mirror reminds me of a Rothko. And on the ceiling, we have a chandelier that we had made. There was a couple from Vienna who had lots of huge antique mirrors that they took apart and reassembled in new ways. So this is a fragment from a giant lobby chandelier from a hotel in Europe. But what I loved about it is how flat I could get it in our low ceiling space. And on this wall is one of my favorite works of art in our apartment. It's a Wolfgang Tillmans piece. It barely fit in the elevator, but we were able to get it up here, and I love it. This library has been a fantasy of mine forever, to have a book-lined room. We do a lot of libraries for clients, and I've always wanted one. We have books everywhere. I do love this room. This is more of our favorite books. We spend a lot of time in here, and it also serves as a guest room. But the main use of this room is for our books. The shelving in here is all Vitso. This is a system that by Dieter Rahm designed in the 60s, and I just love it. We use it a lot. For one thing, it's incredibly efficient. You're not wasting a lot of space with verticals and horizontals that wood shelving creates. But it also is easy to float these on the walls so that you can clean all the way to the floor. And because it's all in black, it pretty much disappears. Daybed is a good place to read while lying down. And if you're looking to the south, You have this unobstructed view down the river. 2 chairs in this room. To me, they remind me of the Jetsons. And the coffee table is by a Norwegian architect, and I just love these. We've used a number of them in our projects. The chair in the corner here is by Ayala Sarfati. It's incredibly comfortable. This one naturally came in a way to disguise some of our dog's hair because she does love to sit in this chair. One other thing I could point out that's a little small in here is that this tray table is something that we designed. They're still for sale now at Maison Girard, and they actually sell fairly well. And I get the biggest kick out of seeing it in Architectural Digest and Elle Decor.
David's constantly reorganizing and reordering the library, and then I can never find anything. So I had one wall where I'm like, can I know where the books are? I'm always bringing home things. And I also love the history of book design. I love chairs, and I've always collected chairs, but now I collect doll scale chairs, more practical. I love brushes and combs, and these are these Italian company-made brushes in the shapes of animals. But I'm past 5, so we're in trouble.
We're standing in our kitchen. I opened it all up and made the whole thing kitchen, made all of this storage with the refrigerator. And this is the sink side with our dishwasher. I created this shelf up above. This is Julia Mangold, an artist I really love. I laid this cork floor to match the color and tone of the wood floor throughout the apartment. And I did do the matte white corian on this side and shiny black on this side. I know how Fritz cooks, and I wanted the surfaces on this side to be really easy to clean. When he's making stews and all kinds of things, I wanted it to be easier. And even though they may be both just as easy to clean, the shiny seemed to be a little bit easier. And I wanted a little bit of tension between the two, the matte and shiny, the dark and the light. I also, in removing upper cabinets, wanted to make the kitchen feel just a little bit more spacious because it is a fairly tight space. In our breakfast area, I'm a bit of a sucker for exotic marbles. This is a Rosa marble, and I just love the patterning on it. The base, it's basically a tube that has been sliced and then splayed. And I thought that was quite eloquent and right for the scale of this particular space. I love this clear acrylic soccer ball of a light, and it's from Art & Company. This painting used to hang in our home in the country, and in the World of Interior story, written by a very dear friend of ours, Carol Prasad, she refers to this as the Emperor Has New Clothes, because in that location, in that day, she could not see that there's actually a figure in this painting, and I was trying to explain it to her. I was fascinated by this because it's actually a self-portrait of the artist, Benjamin Cottam, and I loved that it was hard to find his actual figure in there. This is our dining area. I had the table made out of brass. These are Bellini chairs, which I love. They're called the cab chair. They come armless, but I love them with the arms. For me, they form a piece of sculpture around the table. And the chandelier is one of the great pieces in my apartment. This chandelier was designed by Studio Drift, and this one is called Fragile Future, made of dandelions glued onto LED bulbs. The mixture of materials here is brass. There's a copper armature. I happen to love in my work materials that are what they are. The tarnished copper, the bright brass, the wood. I don't really love faking things if I can help it. For me, that is all about the honesty of materials, and I happen to love the natural feel of things as they are. This is a server. I just love the patterning of the wood on the front, and it's beautiful. It has all these beautiful drawers inside there. Some of them are lined. Really a beautiful, beautiful piece. I have a weakness for tulu. I have quite a few of them, and I love putting fabric on the walls where, again, you're in a more stark environment. It helps to soften the space. And this is actually a pattern that I picked out, since I don't have a proclivity for pattern like Fritz does, but this pattern I like. Right now you're in our living room proper. In here we have two thin jewel sofas covered in very fragile silk velvet, which we are slowly waiting for the patina to turn back to something we love. Between the two sofas are these incredible coffee tables by the sculptor Yujin Han. He really sees them as sculpture, but they actually function perfectly as tables. Behind me, also Korean artist, whose name is Yoon Kwon Quinn. Absolutely love the Zen quality of the work. He basically was obsessed with Chinese calligraphy. There's also a aquamarine blue underneath all this, which it really is two color, but he calls it a one color piece. And it's the penumbra around the paintings that are so interesting. And then I had this bench made in front of it, basically just to make sure that in a large party, nobody's standing right up against the painting. On the far wall is a Stern Twin piece. This was probably the first piece of real art I ever acquired. And I acquired the piece from designing a weekend home for one of the Starn twins, Doug Starn and his wife, Nancy. And as a fee, I got one of their early works. We love in here at night is when the lights are all out, we have the TV on. It's like we're at the movies, and it's really pretty fantastic. The nightstands are all steel, and they're made to the space. I used to have a black fur bedspread, but we have a white dog that sheds, so now it's white fur, not real fur, fake fur. There's a tulu on the pillow, and then the lamps are by Matthew Solomon. I absolutely love his work. They are ceramic. And then on the other side, you have Fritz's fantastic, wonderful nightstand top.
This is an example of the Chinese fruits I'm talking about. See, there's three cherries. It's like jade and carnelian, and but I love geology, weird samples of nature. This is actually for matches, because you had to keep your matches dry. But you know, here's one that's made out of horn, but it's a bird. It's a snuff box.
So in the primary bathroom, this is one of the rooms that I got renovated, and because they're small, I wanted to put in a very large mirror. This is the largest mirror that would fit in the elevator in order to open up the space a bit. And then I used this same black and white theme throughout the apartment, and the back wall is the black wall, but it's in a beautiful marble. And then these wonderful food dogs that I bought at auction upstate. For me, it is the perfect Manhattan home. We entertain, we sleep, we cook, but we have a spectacular view of the city. I couldn't ask for a better, very simple, easy place to live.
People describe my work, or actually can't describe my work, because I like to say that it changes with each and every project. One thing that I can say is that I have a really strong appreciation for color and texture and sheen, and I bring all of that love to each and every one of my projects. from homes in the mountains to homes by the ocean to apartments in cities all around the world. What I love is a project that just gets me excited and gets me out of bed in the morning. I'm just so passionate about what I do and crave interesting projects. My name is Phillip Thomas. I'm an interior designer with a firm based in New York City with projects all around the world. We are in my happy place. Bellport is located on the south shore of Long Island, which is a part of New York State. We've been in this house for 40 years now. It first was a place where I would come to on weekends and in the summer with my family. Over the years, it has just continued to become more and more special to me. We live here very comfortably as a family. Family's very important, as my mother is from Latin America, and she's always made a concerted effort that we are all together as a family, and we gather here with our friends that love to come out here on the weekends. I like to call this my American cottage, and so for that reason I have just found pieces that have a wonderful story to them. Every piece has been selected here by myself and also with my family, and they just tell the story of who we are. Welcome to the entryway. One of my favorite things about this entryway is this carpet that I've had for the longest of times. I love animal print. It works anywhere and everywhere. It is also indestructible. There is no way that you will ever see the sins of a good time. I source things from here, there, and everywhere, and I found this lighthouse at one of the local thrift shops, and I thought that there was such charm to it. It really is beautiful, and the lighthouse itself even lights up. One of the rooms that I recently redid in my ever evolving home is the living room. I just thought it was time to freshen it up, and what I wanted to do was kind of honor the American tradition and amp it up a little bit. There are so many different patterns in this space, and what I love is that they don't necessarily match one another, but they do work with one another. I think it's really important to create a space that has a little bit of tension to it. Tension is what gives energy to a space and makes a space exciting and makes you want to go in and discover that space. There's no defined place where I resource all of my items. Instead, I am constantly hunting for new things that excite me and that excite my clients. You know, the painting over the fireplace was acquired when I was very young at a flea market shop here in Bellport, for example. But the candlesticks I sourced from Scandinavia. So it's all that mixture of things from all around the world that just give the space a richness and story to it. You know, from online retailers to brick and mortar stores, there are always so many fun places to pull beautiful items for your home. One of my favorite surprises is actually our record room. We never really seemed to use it for anything whatsoever, so I decided instead to kind of make it a record booth where people could come and pick records and play them. It has become such a wonderful social part of any gathering here at the house. I have records that are from the 60s and 70s all the way to the present, and it's just so much fun to see what people choose. And I've always had a fondness for tortoiseshell, so I worked with a local artist of mine here in Bellport, and we kind of created this tortoiseshell box that envelops you. As I always say to my clients, never accept a space for what it was intended to be. Make it what it is intended to be. The room we're in right now is the sunroom. This is one of my favorite places to have breakfast in the mornings on a cold winter day with the sun shining in. When it's raining and miserable outside, this is a fantastic spot to gather with friends and play games and chat and hang out. It's better than any possible television in the world. It is its own moving picture, and it's so much fun to see the view beyond, not just on beautiful days, but even on the stormy days. I have on occasion sat here during hurricanes and nor'easters to watch how the weather just goes across the Great South Bay. It's magic. Rugs really help to lower the decibel level of noise, especially when you're gathering here with tons of friends and having a lot of fun. One of my favorite pieces in this space is actually a sign that hung outside my grandfather's hunting shop up in Norwell, Massachusetts. When my grandmother passed away many years ago, the sign went into the hands of a gentleman that was not part of the family. So we finally, after many years, were able to recover the sign, and I loaded it up in my car and brought it all the way back down from Massachusetts, and it now sits here under the picture window as a reminder of our heritage. We're now standing in the dining room. And to me, this is one of my favorite spots in the house. It is what I call the hub of the house from which so many other rooms feed. And it's a place where I've gathered over many decades with family and friends for amazing moments celebrated in our lives. I had so much fun creating this decorative wall treatment for the walls. The walls are hand painted. They almost feel like streamers coming down from the ceiling, the way the red lines squiggle down the walls. It's very much fun to me. And it helps to give the illusion of greater ceiling height to the space. This painting behind me was acquired at auction many, many moons ago. We have no clue who she is, but we still created the story nonetheless. We call her Tia Sophia, and she apparently has traveled the world doing some scandalous things in her time. We're in the main porch of the house. This porch was actually built in the early 2000s when my family acquired the property next door, which was just an empty lot. And so we jumped at the opportunity to expand the property and the gardens, and this porch is the outcome of that expansion. It is a space that we congregate from dawn until dusk, and it is a great place to hang out and have fun, enjoy meals. Fireplace I actually added to the space only about 10 years ago, and it was probably the best addition I could have ever hoped for in the space. People love it. And recently I worked with a local artist here in Bellport by the name of Jay Sylvester to create this really cool sculpture that surrounds the fireplace and just breathes a whole new energy and dynamic to the space. With a porch that's this big, so often light can get trapped from the center of the porch, so it's really important to choose colors and materials that help reflect light into the space. In the case of the porch here, I chose this really light gray paint color because it really pushes the light in, but it also makes it a little bit forgiving so that you're not constantly having to clean the porch. And then what I loved was using this very high gloss finish because again, the high gloss finish helps to push light into the space and create more energy. The furniture that you see on this porch is actually the culmination of decades of collecting wicker furniture, and we just fell in love with what's called Bar Harbor furniture, which is a type of wicker. So often wicker can be really big and bulky. This wicker still is very nice and tailored while providing exactly what you need in terms of support and comfort. The kitchen is the heart of the house. While so often it is separated from other areas of the public spaces, in the case of this house, we are fully open to the dining room and the sunroom and the living room. It's really important that this house be a house for gathering, and so nobody is left behind when you have a kitchen that's open like this. We kept the millwork in the kitchen in a natural stain grade finish because in many ways, a stain grade finish, a wood finish, can be much more resilient, and I want this space to be a space in a home where everybody feels comfortable all the time. And while the kitchen counters and walls are all filled with millwork, housing lots of treasures, we use the ceiling in this space to kind of continue to tell that story of what is seen in other areas of the house. All of these little items have been acquired throughout the years from, stores both here in Bellport as well as stores around the world, and they just help to give this space the warmth that other spaces in the house have. We're in the game room here at the house, and so often this is the destination after a fun dinner. People love to hang out here and play pool and play games and watch movies together, and so this is just such a comfortable spot to all gather. I fell in love with these machine cogs that I discovered in Greenport, New York, and these are all pieces that used to be part of a production line, and so I thought it was so much fun to arrange them kind of like one would expect them to be arranged within a machine. It just gives them an energy. I also adore this painting. It may be the ultimate in kitsch when it comes to game rooms, but it actually has a great deal of sentimental meaning to me. My grandmother, her family arrived to Chile in the early 20th century from Croatia, and there are actually photos of this painting in situ in the early 20th century in the small town of Iquique in northern Chile. Something that's very important to me in all of the homes that I do, not only for myself but for my clients, is to incorporate pieces that have meaning to myself or to my clients. And while those pieces might not necessarily gel with the interior or they might be kitschy, they are pieces that are important in telling the story of who you are. And in the case of this dogs playing poker painting, I just think it has a tremendous amount of energy, and it actually totally catches you off guard and makes you actually pay more attention to it, and I think that's so much fun. Over the years, I have worked with my family in collecting tools from all over the place. No matter where we go, we always seem to find a tool. There's so much beauty in each and every one of these pieces. From this pitchfork to this scythe to this rake, they're all just so beautifully executed, and that's what I love about the things that I choose not only for this home but for my clients' homes, is to see the hand that made them. That's what gives them a story. When I'm not in the garden and when the gardens are dormant for the winter, I love being surrounded by some of the plants that would normally be out in the garden, from my hibiscus bushes to this lantana tree that has been in the family now for 40 years, if you can believe it. It's so nice to be surrounded by green, lively things. One of my favorite spaces in any project is the powder room. I think the powder room is a wonderful place to create something that's unexpected for people. In the case of this house, I did want to stick to the Americana feel of the house, but I found this beautiful old coal mining cart. And when I saw it, I said, this would be the perfect base for a vanity. I also found this mirror, and I thought the frame was absolutely beautiful. I had a mirror created from which the beautiful plumbing projects. On any given weekend in Bellport, we can be having dinners from 4 people to 30 people. There's always activity happening here at the house. And so often we have guests from abroad and from New York City that come to join us for these fun weekends. So there are 6 bedrooms upstairs that allow us to house a great variety of guests. One of the most important things to me when I'm entertaining is that I keep it simple. It's not about overly complicated food or recipes that have me in the kitchen all the time. Instead, it's about people enjoying a beautiful location. A well-set table is essential to me. Food is important, but it's not as important as creating a wonderful environment for people to gather. What I love about the house now is that the moment you walk in, you feel embraced. And in every corner of this house, there is a story being told. And I love that about this house. It's just a constant story no matter where you are.
Our clients usually describe our work as being very well curated and unique to them. So it comes with a high level of detail and expertise that runs through the whole entire project. We are doing everything from A to Z. So we're very heavily involved in the initial design of the house, all through construction, and then filling the house with all of the furniture, the art, and the decor. So really it's a one-stop shop that has a personality. And that personality is not the same as the personality of the last project that we did. My name is Amy Storm, and I am the owner of Amy Storm & Company. We are located in Glen Ellen, Illinois, which is about 30 miles west of Chicago. So today we are sitting in my home, which is a new build that we just built in Glen Ellen, Illinois, which is about a mile away from where we work. Glen Ellen is a wonderful community in the western suburbs of Chicago. We're surrounded by other thriving towns where we do a lot of business in, but also super quick access to the city of Chicago and to a lot of surrounding communities. We had quite a few goals in getting this house done. Josh and I live a very busy life, and as our small business has grown to a larger business and our work has required that I do a lot more traveling, I really wanted the home to feel like a retreat. But also, as we're becoming empty nesters, we're realizing our daughters are probably going to be coming home with future spouses and then grandkids, and so we really tried to set up the second floor in a way that there would be room for families to grow and expand. Hi, Designer Home Tours. Welcome to my home. Come on in. Welcome to our foyer. We've covered this foyer wall with an antiqued mirror and a big slab of Calcutta marble and this beautiful hide rug to create a really textural, warm, and inviting entrance. In our foyer, we have this beautiful chandelier. When you turn it on at night, it creates a beautiful shadow on the ceiling, making it very dramatic when you come in the house. People who were driving by had a clear shot all the way from the front of the house to the back. Super cool, right? But not so great for privacy. So we came up with this design sort of mid-construction to add these doors in our foyer. And I found these big, beautiful 7-inch round marble knobs, which just finished everything off beautifully. We painted all of the doors in our interior, and now we have privacy when we go from one room to the next. Now we're in the gallery, and we did everything floor to ceiling in a high gloss paint. We wanted to create this moment where you came from the front door, you walked through this more kind of like moody, welcoming, exciting space, and then into the bigger space, which is the family room, the dining room, and the kitchen. Through the gallery, you're going to see this custom designed parquet floor that Pereza Wood built for us. Off of this gallery, we also created a little nook to hang up coats and purses for our guests. Since we didn't have a front closet, we put all of our closets in the mudroom. And then we also did a formal powder room off of the entry. So it's private from the living space. If guests are over, they don't feel like they're opening a door in the family room and using the restroom. We are in the kitchen right now, and as everybody knows, it's the heart of the home. So I didn't want a traditional bright white kitchen, but I also kind of wanted a white kitchen. So what we did here was a really neat combination of wood and more of a dirty white mixture. We used high-end, Sub-Zero. These are luxury appliances throughout the whole entire house. They are my go-to for appliances. We did some nice things for organization in our drawers, like creating slats for trays. We did beautiful Armac Martin hardware. All of these products are really in sync with Ann Sachs. They're elevating our spaces. They're taking them to the next level and really providing just a high level of finishes throughout the house. So this is a natural stone that we put here on our countertop, and I picked it for a couple reasons. One, because I'm a big fan of natural stone, and two, because I can handle it if it etches. And that is why you're gonna see a lot of Ann Sachs natural stone all around our house. But this marble countertop has all the colors. It's got gray, green, tan, cream, a little bit of red, and it's really kind of setting the pace for what you're gonna see as you go through the rest of the house. We did high-end refrigeration over here too. So we've got a fridge, we've got a wine fridge, it's pretty stocked, and then we've got a big nice freezer here. And then we added some interesting lighting with our smart home technology. Here we've got it under the island, and we took our slab up the face of the island and then onto the counter and then onto the backsplash. So we're really using this under cabinet light here to highlight it. Now we're going into the pantry, and this is one of our favorite rooms. I really wanted to create sort of a European vibe. So we went with the context. It's a 1x6 white mosaic with a white gloss. We actually took the tile up the walls, across the ceiling. There's no drywall in there, and we absolutely love it. This is probably one of the most important rooms of the house. Not only does it take a lot of heat off of the kitchen, so the kitchen always looks nice, but we actually really love how intimate it is and how easy it is for everything to function. So we use this place for two reasons. One is a pantry, storage for our food, but we also use it for some special things that we do all the time. So we come down in the morning, we have our coffee bar, we've got an extra refrigerator and freezer here, so we can keep all of our smoothie items and our coffee creamers and stuff. And then we decided to go with 2 dishwashers in this house, one in the main kitchen and one here in the pantry, which is really great when you're entertaining. We can bring everything into here and keep like the kitchen looking really nice. We are in the dining room, and one of the coolest features in here is these Marvin bifolding doors. So we can open this one up, slide this back, and now we are out in our exterior oasis. We are in our living room. This is where I hang out most of our days. We did a custom-made sectional here. We partnered up with Baker for some beautiful furniture pieces. We made this custom rug with PS Design Collective, and then we designed and had this fireplace made for us. And this is an amazing vendor out of Arizona. We're actually using them on a lot of our projects. The great thing is this is a self-supporting steel structure. This backdrop to our fireplace is Ann Sachs tile. This is a concrete black pitted tile. We've pieced it all together to create this beautiful vertical paneling. It goes from the ceiling to the floor. Everything else in the room is very light and neutral. And then we have this dark striking fireplace that just completely draws you in when you walk in the room. Okay, welcome to our mudroom, and in here we used one of our most favorite Ann Sachs tiles. This is from the Mod Moda collection, and this is black and white terrazzo. It makes this really cool mid-century style pattern. It's made up of like chips of precious marbles that are blended with cement, and so even though it looks kind of like a black and white pattern in the large format, it also has a lot of color and texture. And we actually heated this floor underneath because I never wanted to put a rug down. When you come to our mudroom door, as most people do, and you come in, this is the first thing you see when you enter the house. Come on down to the basement. This is where all the fun happens. This is a big mural on this wall by a local Chicago artist named Emmy Starr Brown. And we used this beautiful brown color on our cabinets and paired it with this Ann Sachs tile from their Savoy collection. It is a bronze metallic and it's 3-dimensional. So the light hits it and just does fabulous things with it. And then let's go see the guest bath. Beautiful hexagon mosaic tile and matching 12 by 24 wall tile. That's called Calcutta Viola. We use it on the walls, on the ceiling, on the floor. We used it everywhere we could because it is so darn pretty. The staircase is kind of a unique staircase. It was a lot easier to imagine up than it was to build, but we wanted to incorporate these soft radiuses in each of the corners as you see them throughout the house in our archways, and we topped it off with a metal handrail that just winds all the way from the second floor down to the basement. These are some of the most interesting lights that we have in the house. These are from Luke Lamp Co. And what we did is we ordered 3 different lengths and we mounted them up to the ceiling and draped them so you get this really dramatic effect whether you're driving down the street or just going from floor to floor or just walking past them in the foyer. They light up, they can dim, and they're just a striking piece of art. We had this landing up here and we weren't sure what to do with it. So in our office, we decided, well, why not make it a cool little area to hang out? So we did this custom built-in bench seat, and then we clad the walls in this wall covering that I found while I was in Bordeaux, France. I socked it away for 2 years and finally had a great place to use it. Even the light fixture on the wall is like a piece of art. Welcome to our laundry room. It's a very simple laundry room with a lot of punch, and we found this beautiful tile. It's from the Salvaggio collection in the Bianco Nero color, and then white tile on the walls and black countertop, and it just is stunning. Now we are in the Jack and Jill bath, and I'm so excited to show you this crown mosaic floor because we're actually the first people ever to install it. It's a beautiful white tile with these green triangles. And then we use this Ansax Verde marble on the back wall behind the toilet, and we actually used it in the shower in a couple areas. Created a border with the Verde stone, a perfect and beautiful match to our green Idris tile and our crown mosaic on the floor. Paired with a dark black shiny marble with white veining, it was like money. So we love using Ansax tile. Every time they drop a new line, we sort of get like re-inspired. Oh, we could use this here, we could use this there. Now we're going into the primary bedroom. We've got soaring vaulted ceilings, a big dramatic light fixture, and then we just wanted to keep this light and airy and relaxing. Now come into the primary bath. This is where the drama's at. This is our beautiful Ansax floor. We did heated floors all throughout the bathroom, and then we ran this marble tile directly into the shower. There's no threshold. We took it up the wall and across the top. This is actually a steam shower, and I used marble in it. Can you imagine such a thing? But if you do all of the prep work properly, you can go ahead and do those kind of bold things in your house. We also used these mini tiles here on the back wall, and we matched them with grout, and then we matched our stain color on our wood cabinets to that so that the bathroom feels very simple and clean and elegant. I would summarize the end result of this project as a wild success because I'm living here and enjoying every moment of it and no complaints out of me. So thankful for all of the hard work that went into it. For me and my family, this is sort of a dream. We never expected to ever live in a house like this. It's a great retreat for my husband. He has a very busy life too. And our kids who are away at college have actually not even seen the house finished. So we're super excited to have them come home from college and be able to relax and live here and enjoy it in the same way that we do.
I have been an interior designer for many, many years, and my schooling was as a painter and an artist, and then I went on to study architecture. I knew I was going to be something in the arts, and then the interior design business sort of fell naturally together because I didn't really want to become an architect. So the ideas of assembling and creating spaces and using the classical techniques of architecture really is my foundation, and I often use that as kind of my starting off point. And so I look back a lot and then I go forward a lot, and I find that that is kind of my barometer for how I start all my projects. Started my firm back in 1991, and I did a lot of work in the tri-state area in New York City, being a working mom, having kids, you know, kind of balancing all that. But at the same time doing that, I really feel like it also brought me a lot of knowledge about how families work. My name is Eileen Kathryn Boyd, and the name of my firm is Eileen Kathryn Boyd Interiors. We're on Nantucket Island. We are 30 miles out to sea, which is about a 2.5-hour ferry ride. The island is known for its authentic historical restoration. All of the houses up here are all gray shingled with white trim. There's a very strong historic district committee that keep the town feeling put together. This house was owned by the Killen family. They lived here for about 65 years. The house was built by Florence Shep in 1933, and it was built as an antique replica of a house up on Main Street. And we were able to acquire it because we had a friendship with Deb Killen over the years. And when she went to sell it, she was really worried about the world of people taking houses up here and sort of lifting and twisting and tearing out its interiors. In knowing us the way she knew us as a family, we would keep the house in its current state physically, but also create a stewardship here and continue on what she started. Her beautiful gardens, the view of the harbor, basically the same layout in the rooms. One of the most exciting parts was when she ended up clearing the house out and we could actually see it and we could imagine what the rooms are going to feel like. By looking at the windows and the floors, I mean, you know it's an historical house. But what I'm good at is bringing in a fresh color palette that is artistic, layering in colors, and not being afraid to push things dark and then pull things light and create balance. Hi, welcome to my home. This hallway is a very charming size. It's not too big, but it's perfect for greeting people off the street. I really wanted to throw a surprise on the ceiling in here. And the circles and the swirling, it's almost like the wind coming off the harbor and just feeling the swirling on the ceiling. And just a really charming little eclectic greeting space, enough for flowers and keys and walking sticks and umbrellas. And I always love having a little light on the entry floor. I think it makes it feel like home. Welcome to the dining room. This is a very intentionally atmospheric space, and I really wanted to make it feel like a room you don't really want to leave. One of the strongest points I think that came into my mind that had to happen was the idea of, you know, saturating all the walls with the same color and then playing off that matte and shiny vibe. And it just gave these incredible beams just a luxurious, it was a little bit rough before, and then it just completely made it exotic and elegant and beautiful. So I used that as kind of the overall envelope, and then I inserted some of these, you know, colors that are blues and purples and some of the hot pinks and some of these jewel tones. And then also carried the same selvedge color down into the furniture. So again, you get these beautiful shadow lines. It blends with the walls, yet the gorgeous texture of this wicker with this softness of the walls is just a gorgeous, you know, line and visual line for me of colors and textures. A lot of times rooms all sort of sit at one height, and it's kind of really cool to be able to bring things up into the ceiling. So you have, when you're sitting down, you see one thing, and when you're standing up, you see something else. And it actually helps with all the different volumes of the room, from floor to the middle to the ceiling. These lighting fixtures work beautifully for this room, but I'm really all about these, these Pookie lights are so cool. They're all portable lights, and you can, they're charge and touch, and you can use them on the table to create that beautiful atmosphere. It feels like there's just glows all over the room, and it just makes you want to stay and enjoy. I like the dining room table being round. It's great for conversation. It's beautiful to set, the tables being set. And also, again, in the back, we have this great area to sit. If you don't want to sit at the table and you want to sit back there and have a gorgeous, cocktail or a drink and just look at the view. And then, of course, the fiddle fig tree, and you're back to that idea of the volume, something happening up high and then something happening up low. And I think it really helps balance the space. Originally in this room, the wall went like this, and then there was just a single little door here into the kitchen. We knew we would have to take the kitchen apart anyway, but the more and more I sat with it, the more I realized I really wanted to put in a door system like this. Really recreate the window pane and mullion pattern that's all over the house. And in order to do that, we had to take out a really huge oil burner system that was here for many, many years. So if we're having a dinner party in here and the kitchen's busy with caterers or preparing, we can sit in here and have dinner, and you can see what's going on, but it doesn't directly affect you. Really enjoyed working on this kitchen, designing it, seeing it through. The brass accent really actually started with this incredible range from Jenner and the most incredible brushed brass. I went off on these beautiful, gold knurled handles, and we ended up using them as well. Not the exact knurled look, but just sort of the polished brass. And what I really wanted to do was be able to display all of the incredible china and glassware that we had collected for the house. And it really feels like little, art statements in the wall in the kitchen. I feel like it makes the kitchen feel more real and more personable. These kitchens are made in Germany. They end up giving you a box system, and then all of the cabinets come. And what I really like about this kitchen is that you have the classic shaker style cabinets. But what's really wonderful about them all is that a lot of the drawers are behind the cabinet doors. So you have this incredible experience of not having, sets of drawers everywhere to store product, but it's all behind this one slab door. We also added this beautiful touch on this accent leg to give this countertop some more detail. And who could forget the incredible Mystic leather refriges from Jenner. The mass of this, the size of this in the kitchen, usually with stainless steel, is sometimes so overwhelming, and in this kitchen it just sits back and it feels the dryness of it, and the color of it is just perfect. And we also have great kitchen system from Callista. So this bathroom was intentionally painted in this color. I wanted it to be a unforgettable moment in the house. And what I love about these small rooms, especially powder rooms, is when you can really take a chance with color and kind of go for it. When it was finally painted and I hadn't styled it yet, I knew that I had to do this kind of gallery layering into it. And I had so much fun finding this art and, making it come alive. Teeny vanity. The artwork was some things I found for the house, other things I've had for a long time, but I had to make it look very eclectic. I had this mirror painted, and then we trimmed out the bathroom in this beautiful kind of flex roping tape that we put in the purple color as well, and it just made the whole bathroom feel like a little Hermes box. We are in the first floor reading room. It is a space for lounging, for reading, for taking a nap in the afternoon. One of my favorite parts of this room is the bookshelf and the idea of just giving it a really saturated color on the back wall, so you kind of get that framed up look with the trim. And then turning all the book covers around and actually having them become pieces of artwork. You can then decide if you want to read one, just admire them, and then as you collect them, you could swap them out, and it becomes kind of like an art wall, a sense of books. This sofa and some of these fabrics are, I really wanted a little bohemian vibe here. This is just a nice little mid-century chrome loungy chair, and I feel like it needs this soft piece on here. Welcome to the upstairs of this house. We fell in love with this incredible hornbeam wallpaper from Farrow & Ball. I really love the gray and the cream mix, the little dots of white, so it becomes this amazing foil. Love seeing a bookcase at the top of the stairs and accessorizing it with books and found objects, and it's a great prelude to the room that follows it. This is one of the most dynamic rooms in the house, probably the most beloved room for the past homeowner. Feels like an old Nantucket house, and this particular room really feels like an old Nantucket room. And what I really wanted to do here was not lose that sense of warmth and history, where you would want to, again, stay and linger and read and listen to music and enjoy wine, play games. When I designed this space with form kitchens, I really wanted this to be a counter height center island, just a central meeting place. You know, work on your laptop if you want, stay up here and linger. It gives this room so much more dimension than being just like another seating area. So we made this into really a full-size kitchen in a sense. The countertops are Caesar stone. We have this beautiful faucet Callista in the sink. We have a beautiful ice maker and wine fridge, and this ridiculously gorgeous crocodile embossed fridge, really like a piece of furniture, almost like an armoire. These warm notes in the post and beam ceiling, and the walls, these incredible pine walls. And then we popped up a mobile up in the ceiling that is kinetic and keeps moving, and it just adds so much atmosphere up there. Actually, my favorite parts of the house is that ceiling moment. Bench seating is one of my favorite things to create in a space. I'm always looking for that lounge area or a corner banquette. I feel like people like to gather and sit close to each other and have conversations. This bench seat was here originally, and I just really wanted to enhance it and make it feel modern again. So what we did is we ended up pulling some of these incredible pillows from the Romo ready-made pillow collection. And I don't think any room is complete without a little bit of a cheetah vibe. These pillows all work so well together, and it's very comfortable, cozy space. You got a little bit of light here for reading or for lounging or listening into the conversation. And you also have an incredible view of the harbor from here. So it's one of my favorite spots in the whole room. So when I really looked at the floor plan of this room, I knew that this room had to have that clubby, warm vibe of, you know, of a place you might find in New York or in London or in Paris, but also literary lounge vibe where you can come up and read and, you know, lose yourself. So one of the things that I was very aware of is like the idea of these small tables that kind of find their place. And, you know, the fact that these are just high enough where you can just sit down and put a drink. But this person could reach this, that person could reach this. And these also become kind of a bundle of tables that sit with this click over modern piece, but then these tables tuck underneath it, and they can expand or contract based on who's here and how many people are in the room. But also the scale of lights, where there's baby lights, there's medium lights, and there's large lights. And the idea that things change in scale makes lighting interesting, because if they're all the same size, they're competing. But if they all have their moments, then they all can live together in a space. Yellow is one of those colors that the minute you see it, you want to smile. The light in this room is particularly bright. On a sunny day, it just lights up. And with the yellow on the walls, it actually glows in this room. And I really liked pairing it with this kind of gorgeous pink color, the Hunt Sloan pillow, and bringing in accessories that, again, pull this pink and this yellow out and have it all feel like it wants to live together. And there's something really, really nice about the wood tones and this like beautiful oaky bamboo shade with the yellow, this kind of fisherman's sweater, beautiful area rug. And we also just paired it with a vintage bamboo chinoiserie chair that just it has the most incredible view of the harbor. It's just a really, really warm and cozy bedroom. Scandia Home is really known for their down, but their sheets are absolutely beautiful and fine and elegant. And I think the color of this particular sheet is beautiful. This headboard we got at Safavea, which is just a classic caned headboard. And I also found these bamboo shades that are, lift shades. I got these at Amazon. And, how beautiful do they look? They look very expensive. And the fact that I also like to mount things on the outside of the window, because I feel it makes the window look bigger. If these were inside the window, it would be too visually chopped up. So I tend to like to mount my blinds. And if they go a little further over, it's okay, because it frames the windows and it wraps around the whole room and it pulls the wood floor color up. This is one of the bigger bathrooms we had. And looking for a vanity, this one from Roburn stood out, and I really wanted to use it, and I was absolutely fascinated by this beautiful pattern here. It can be a little mid-century looking, but it also can be very seaside. But the doors are hidden. A Caesar stone top, molded sink, the Callista faucets, absolutely beautiful. The Pookie lights, almost like bottom-dipped boho shades with a little bit of that yummy, gorgeous yellow. We made the ceiling in here yellow to pull the bedroom in, so this room coordinated beautifully. Incredibly beautiful blue shower. Tiles are oversized subways, and you've got the gorgeous, little cottage window that opens out, and beautiful fixtures from Callista. So this bathroom has just a really warm vibe. Everybody wants to get that feeling of sanctuary like your home. One of my intentions in this bedroom was truly to achieve that. This whole house has lent itself to is this kind of all over color. One thing that this house does not have, it doesn't have ceiling trim. It all bleeds up right from the wall into the ceiling. So it really lent itself more and more to all of this idea of pulling the color straight up. The wall covering that I chose for the back wall here as a layer, and it wasn't meant to be necessarily an accent wall, just more of a layer to pick up the little flecks of white, is Yucatori. Little small seagulls in the back or birds, and I felt that this just added a really nice layer to the back of this bed. And we chose to just use standing lamps as bedside lamps as opposed to classic lamps that sit on bedsides. And it has a nice swing arm ability, so if you want to read at night you can, if not you can pull it away. And then we paired it with just these really nice historical small nightstands that are, again, historically beautiful proportions. They look great against this clean modern bed, and that's what gets me excited visually, is we're able to pair these old and new pieces and they all can live together in harmony. And the crazy little peacock chair is just happy and fresh and very summer and very seaside. And the beautiful dressing table. Some of these pieces you would have found probably in the 1930s and 1940s in some of the seaside houses, and they get tired and old. Refreshing them with a gorgeous color like this makes it feel modern and new. We also wallpapered the top of this. Just enjoy putting on your makeup in the morning or just getting on the phone or a little writing desk, and it just really feels like it complements this bedroom beautifully. We ended up taking this beautiful pink round color from the master suite and brought it right into the bathroom. Once again, just having this all over collection of color, it feeling very much en suite. We got very excited about this incredible blue on the floor because it's almost like an indigo navy color. It's very unique, and I wanted to tie this color in again and bring it in from some of the historical tiles that are surrounding the fireplace. But it's this idea of this really beautiful blue jean, kind of indigo blue with this pale, pale blush, and that combination, along with the fire clay on the wall in the shower, and a little touch of my Kaluna on the ceiling really made this bathroom feel exciting. This vanity is very modern, but in this house it almost feels like it's historical. And it has all the most incredible color, ingrained in the wood, and then the clean modern vanity top and the really beautiful Callista faucet. It's just an incredible collection, along with the backlit mirror. I just feel like it looks modern, but living in this house, it feels historical. And I just think that's what this house does to a lot of pieces. It welcomes it in and lets it be modern, but keeps it in the historical nature. This home is very, very special to me. Since I've owned it and got involved with it, I can't believe how important it is to the community here. The heart of the town, right at the mouth of the harbor, it is all about the water. And the vulnerability of being out here 30 miles out to sea, you always take that into account when you're here. Having a place that's home is something that we all look for, and I find that for Nantucket, for me, home is really where my heart is.
I would describe our design style as warm modern.
I'm the warm, he's the modern.
Right? So very warm and comfortable like Megan, but also modern and visually impactful. I always wanted to live in a glass house in the woods, mid-century modern furniture. And I've always looked at Megan as this fashionista. She's in the know of what's next and what's happening now, and that really has influenced me, and I've evolved to more softness. We are more known for neutrals and texture, and that's still what we respond to most positively.
And I think that's why people hire us for the most part. We have a studio, Sharp Furniture Company in the neighborhood, and everything is very neutral in that space, and that's really so that the client can maybe see where their personality could be infused into that. My name is Megan Sharp.
I'm Patrick Sharp.
And I am the principal of Mr. and Mrs. Sharp.
And I'm the principal of Mr. and Mrs. Sharp.
We are based in Chattahoochee Hills, Georgia, south of Atlanta.
And in the community of Serenbe. Serenbe is a sustainable community in Chattahoochee Hills. We're about 45 minutes south of Atlanta. We're committed to developing only 30% of the actual natural landscape, and to do so responsibly. So all the homes are Earthcraft certified, and it's also a very design forward, very art-centric community. Serenbe came together with Rue Magazine and several sponsors to create this show house. And it's also a model home for Vincent Longo Custom Homes. It's a pretty modern structure. It's quite boxy, and we love a clean lined house. Oak floors, incorporated curves as much as we could. So you'll see curves in the fireplace, the hood of the kitchen to soften things up a little bit. Different types of marble, from the furniture to the countertops. All the bathrooms are clad in beautiful Ansax tile. Welcome to Rue House. We're entering on the terrace floor, but we wanted to make sure you didn't feel like you were walking into a basement. So we really wanted to make it special and design forward. So this Mod Moda tile, it's a Mod Moda mosaic by Ansax, really fits the bill, so impactful. We love the gray and the white. We also did a white oak paneling. Behind us and all the way up the staircase, we have this great sculpture by local artists Rachel Garceau and Christine Genet. I love this art from Patrick Brian Johnson, also a Serenbe artist. And then we have this great drop zone, kind of a mudroom over here. It's just this nice little niche under the staircase that we were able to continue the Mod Moda mosaic, and we added this Phillip Jeffries wallpaper. We love to mix patterns in playful areas like this. Welcome to the rec room or family room. It's on the terrace level. We wanted it to be light and bright and fun. So we have this ping pong table, big sectional, plenty of club chairs, and there's this kitchenette over here or wet bar. It has some extra wine storage. The Savoy circle Anzacs tile that we have on the back wall. I love it layered with the brass shelving that we have. It goes all the way from the countertop to the ceiling. It's kind of acting like a wallpaper.
We have a really special wine storage area. It is iron and glass. And typically when you see an enclosure like this, it's a black iron color, but we decided to go a little bit lighter with it and do something a little bit different. So we have this light gray with the glass, and we also coordinated that paint color to go with the ping pong table.
Love having a ping pong table in a rec room, especially if it looks like this. This is a really special custom piece from Venture Games. It's a local company, and they were able to paint it our shade of white and our shade of gray. So we love this thing. So a lot of comfortable furniture in this room. We really like the neutral tones. I love this big gray cashmere stripe down this wing chair. It kind of gives a modern element to this more traditional silhouette. Every family room needs a nice comfortable sectional. Love this stone table, talking about bringing those natural elements. All right, let's go upstairs. And so our staircase has the wood paneling, and then we're in our living room. Large enough for 2 different seating areas. So we have back-to-back universal furniture sofas, ample chairs for large parties. Again, we have our natural elements with marble tables, and I love the textural rugs in here. I think the rugs are from Loloy, is that right?
Yeah, it just adds another good foundation, warm element, lots of texture.
And you can sit here, enjoy your beverage, and enjoy a roaring fire. Also in this room, this window over here opens up to the entire outside. It's best of both worlds, indoor, outdoor living. We have 2 different sectionals out here, both from our house. All the outdoor furniture for the home was for our house.
So welcome to the main kitchen. What we love about this kitchen is this huge island. It's perfect for parties. And we wanted to highlight this beautiful stone. It is Calcutta Fantastico from Ann Sachs. It is a full slab of thin stone, and we like how modern it is with the thinness. This island, you could host a party, you could have a buffet. It is really functional. We have this beautiful Brizo pull-down faucet and the accompanying pot filler for pasta night, maybe. And then we continued the slab of the Calcutta Fantastico on the wall for the backsplash.
Other notable things about the kitchen is the signature kitchen suites package that we have. So we have this beautiful range. I love this plaster hood above with the curves that go all the way around the back. Really adds a lot of warmth to this space. Not just the shape, but the plaster too. The custom cabinetry is by Bell Cabinetry here in Atlanta. Love this door style. That door style continues on the refrigerator and the freezer.
It's nice that people can come from the living room, get a drink, not be in the kitchen in the way of whoever's cooking.
Absolutely, and this has the same Calcutta Fantastico that's in the kitchen, and it has a waterfall edge too. Cheers.
Cheers.
The backsplash here is Ann Sachs Savoy. I think it's called a small stack, and it's kind of serving as a wallpaper again behind these brass floating shelves.
And this is yet again another opportunity for your glassware, just easy to access with the open shelves. It's very clean with the glass, and I think it's just really special. We have these panel ready refrigerators here. They're perfect for extra wine or extra drinks that are just keeping chilled here. There's 2 of these right underneath each other. And then over on this side is the ice machine, also panel ready. So we are in the dining room, and this is an art installation by Christine Genet. She uses wood veneers that she's ribboned around, and she also uses natural clays and elements that she finds just in the soil here around the neighborhood in Serenbe. And it just turned out really beautiful. It really does add so much character to the room. I love these chairs from Universal. They have casters on them, so for dining, it's perfect to go in and out. And they're also a performance fabric, so very comfortable, just very easy, perfect for big dinner parties. This is the main entrance hall, and we have a piece of art by Patrick Johnson. We did a little dark moment here of a high gloss paint with some millwork. We have an artist featured in here. His name is Thomas Swanston. He uses a lot of silver leaf, gold leaf. It just kind of brightens up the place, adds a little sparkle. The Arabescato Corsia countertop from Ann Sachs. On top of the bell cabinetry underneath, it has touch latch doors. No hardware.
And I was going to show you one of 4 guest rooms. This one is painted Sherwin-Williams, I think it's called Cyberspace. And we have a nice king-size bed in here, really cozy room. Another piece by Patrick Brian Johnson, ample lighting from Regina Andrews. And I'd like to show you this great ensuite bathroom. It doesn't have any windows, but you'd never miss it because of the impact of Lisboa Diamante from Ann Sachs. The tile is used on all of the walls, all of the dry walls. We kind of use it as wallpaper. And we have the Arabescato Corsia and more Ann Sachs tile in the shower and the herringbone on the floor. We're on our way to the primary suite. We have more Patrick Brian Johnson hanging in the hallway, and then we're going to enter into the primary bathroom. Really beautiful marble bathroom. We have Bianca Gioia on the floors and on the walls, and a slab countertop, custom cabinetry by Bell Cabinetry.
I love how thick it is.
I love the mitered edges to make it look like such a huge chunk of marble.
Then this is the fluted tile. It's like our favorite thing in the whole house. It's Terrazzo Renato from Ann Sachs. We absolutely adore it. It just feels so good in here, and I wish I could take a bath in this tub. It's so good.
It does work beautifully with the marble. We also carried it into the shower.
You can have a party in the shower.
It's true. So again, the Gioia on the wall, the Renata also comes in a mosaic that we have on the floor and the ceiling. Now we're going to show you the primary bedroom. We have this beautiful fuzzy bed from Universal Furniture. Again, we carried the white oak slat walls in here for warmth, and this beautiful light fixture from Regina Andrews. My favorite feature of the primary suite is you have your own entrance to this beautiful backyard and pool area.
Wait for it. This is quite possibly my favorite part of the house. Walking up these teak stairs, we have the pool. There's a pool deck here that's a little bit more shallow where we have some lounge chairs, the deeper section up front here, and then across the way there's another teak deck with a day bed, perfect place to lounge, relax, get some sun.
Multiple seating areas outside, so your little coffee nook off the primary. There's a dining room, there's a living room, there's a fireplace here. We got the Tennessee stone everywhere and a limestone terrace floor.
So we're really happy with the way this house came together and turned out. I really enjoy coming into an empty, beautifully well-designed, finished home that Patrick has created and add the warm textures of the rugs, the furniture, the accessories, artwork, bring new energy to the home. Once you add those final touches, it does really feel finished.
We accomplished what we set out to do by creating this warm home. It feels like it's got some wow factor to it. I'm very happy with the result.
I think my work kind of brings out the client's personality with my own intent as well. I'd say it's a little bit more playful, a little bit more organic feeling at the same time too. Kind of fun and whimsical. Definitely an edge, a little modernized design. If a room looks too perfect, it's probably wrong. So I love to just kind of bring in something weird, something a little off, and to me, that alone does wonders for a space. We do a lot of new construction homes, large-scale remodels in and around the Milwaukee area, but also outside of our state. Clients that will pull us in for vacation homes and second or third homes. My name is Anna Miles. I am an interior designer at Peabody's Interiors, and we are located in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Today we're in beautiful Waupun, Wisconsin, in a cute little subdivision. This house was a new construction project. The homeowners, they're empty nesters, kind of entertaining their family. So it's not really a big entertainment house. A bunch of farmlands, beautiful greenery, and we just wanted to play off of that natural, bringing that outside into our spaces. The directive of building this house was to make it feel like it's been here for a while. That was the very first thing my client said to us, like, hey, we love the look of English Tudor. We want to bring that like old architecture in, but let's just give it a little modern flair to it because that's their style, and I think we nailed it. Hi, welcome to Birdie Boulevard. Come on in. So when you first walk into this beautiful home, we created an entryway with a soft curve to the wall. We wanted to have its own little space, but we also wanted it to be welcoming and inviting to the next space that we travel into. So you'll see our beautiful ceilings here. They're 14-foot ceilings, and we actually paired that with a custom finish on our wall paneling. It's a little bit more of a cozy space. We wanted it to feel bigger, so we paired it with a really large floor mirror that we mounted up higher. So for an entryway, it's kind of one of those like pass goes, check yourself out. We also paired it with a console here to just give a little drop zone, but keep it really clean and tidy. And underneath is a bunch of stools. On the floor here is a Persian rug that we sourced out locally at one of our vendors. The bigger challenges of our project, it was sourcing this big door. It's a custom metal door made here in Waupun. So we actually accented it with a very large handrail so that when you grab it at different heights, it's actually accessible. It's heavy. It's a heavy door. We wanted a color on the walls that looked aged, and we actually water popped it. So this is white oak water popped, and by a custom finisher. He did an outstanding job. We actually paired that with our ceiling color as well, so those two harmoniously go hand in hand with our finishes. And it looks really great off of our maple flooring. So while a client feels like they should do, all the same types of wood, I don't think you actually have to. You can blend your materials and it just looks like a cohesive pattern. One really amazing detail in this foyer is our hidden wall that houses our powder room, which has one of our beautiful Anzacs tiles displayed right on the wall itself. The tile on this wall is the Idris by at Manos. We did it in the hex so that it kind of plays like this woven pattern. It's beautiful just displayed on a wall. You can use it as a backsplash as well. We needed it to be a focal point, so we put it behind this floating vanity and paired it with some Callista legs on this floating vanity that turned out outstanding. As we walk into our great room here, you'll see the space that's really grand. That's kind of your traditional Tudor style. So while you've got this really great architecture, we played around with doing a little bit more traditional style furniture. A nice, beautiful velvet sectional for, entertaining, lounging. A special piece in this space that I just absolutely adore was this old Biscayne cabinet. It kind of brings in that traveled piece that just kind of went along with the family. We went with a darker finish on it because we wanted it to kind of stand out and be proud. My lovely windows. These are all custom Pella windows. We did a lead tape on the profile of the window panes themselves. We wanted it to feel like it's been there for a little bit also with that lead tape addition to it. But also, we didn't want to obstruct from the view from outside, which is why we did these big windows. We've got a beautiful prairie just kind of on the edge here, and it's something part of like an art piece to me, where we want to bring that outside in. We paired these big windows in here with our drapery panels that are about 14 feet long, keeping with that monochromatic tone so that it's very usable for time and time again. And we have these higher up transoms that just bring in more natural light. That goes into another room in our sunroom that is more of that indoor-outdoor living. Welcome to our sunroom. Such a beautiful, elegant space. They wanted to use this room as more of a coffee room, sitting in here, enjoying a cup of coffee in the morning, listening to the birds. We've got some really great pieces from Century Furniture. We've got a beautiful swivel chair here, more functional for the family with indoor-outdoor fabrics on there. A room that is really small in size, but like huge in functionality for them. But what's really interesting about this space also is our phantom screens that when they actually go up, they're hidden inside the casement itself. So when these are up, it is full panoramic views. I do want to take note of our ceiling detail in here. I feel like that's where people can lose their interest, and I think for us, we really wanted to accent that. And I think that just helps bring down that volume and make it feel a little bit more cozy. We'll take you into our kitchen and our dining room. So this table was custom designed for my clients. We needed a very large table by Heritage Beam and Board, and they just knocked it out of the park with this finish. And we paired it with some really simple chairs on the side chairs and popped it with a really cool design on their host chairs. And that kind of set the tone for what's happening now in our kitchen. This is a chef's kitchen, a true chef's kitchen. We wanted this to feel like you can come in and use it and not feel like you needed to immediately clean up. We wanted the appliances to kind of be hidden, and we did that by fully integrating the appliances with our wood paneling tones. So you'll see that kind of continue around that curved wall and then right into our fully integrated refrigerator and freezer duo. So we found the perfect tile to kind of break up all of that wood tone that is happening in our space right now. And Millhouse did a great job with their cabinetry to help us really make this more seamless. And we picked a tile that both accented but also created a little bit of interest, a little pattern. This is the Swiss cross tile in linen, and it creates just a fun little backdrop. We really wanted to kind of feel like you're in this little glass dome here. So, think about winters in Wisconsin and you've got the snow going, and she really wanted to feel like she's sitting in a snow globe, but also have her privacy. And so with that, we integrated blinds that are motorized, hidden in our trim kits here, and they just kind of diffuse that light and give them a little bit more privacy. One design trend that I did specifically for this client was to do our windowsills in the countertop material throughout the entire kitchen. We've got these really big windows. We wanted to use up every inch of that space for this natural sun that we're getting in here. And with that, my client loves her greens, loves to be outside. So we're bringing that outside in, giving her the opportunity to have some herbs in the windows or to showcase some plants and some flowers. We designed this kitchen around the island itself as well. My client really wanted to have a large space to do baking and to kind of stand around. And with that, we did a 4-inch mitered edge, which really creates some drama. The lighting is from Urban Electric. There are beautiful, just kind of statement pieces in here. And we decided to do 3, and these are suspended by rods. So custom rods, custom finish. We have majority lower cabinets and very little uppers. And so with these big windows, we had to get creative in our task lighting and how we're using the space and lighting it. So while you see in our larger windows, we actually have sconces on each mullion to kind of push that light down and give them more functional lighting to work on. And as you walk into our butler's pantry here, this is where we are highlighting that beautiful Belcaro lilac tile that is fluted. And that just has that beautiful like gray and lilac veining. We paired it with a granite countertop material here, just to kind of give it a little bit more of its own little special moment. We didn't want the granite to be, you know, too bold. My client loves wallpaper. This is where we found it super fun to add that little bit of whimsical in here. There's tigers and leopards and monkeys and birds all in it, and it's such a monochromatic paper that I feel like it just pairs beautifully with this tile. All right, let's go into the office. So this space is designed for the idea of another living room potentially down the road, but we created a space that she could come and work and have her own little quiet time, hidden behind these passage doors. So again, just kind of keeping that wall paneling up and making this room a little bit more of a secret hiding space. We did a big mural wallpaper from Harlequin. I think it's 5 panels placed together. It's just a stunning backdrop. With this wallpaper, it kind of has those vertical lines happening. We wanted to mimic that also in our chandelier that you'll see. From Visual Comfort, it's a beautiful crystal. When it's dark outside and the lights are on, this is a nice cozy space for that as well. Let's go to the laundry room. This is one of my favorite spaces, and it's because it is so colorful, and this is her beautiful design as well. So if you think about my client, this is totally her. So the color on our cabinets is Farrow and Ball light blue, and we paired that with our downpipe trim that you'll still see throughout. We did a really nice quartzite product on our countertops. And what's really sweet is this little dog house. We created a water and a food dish with our leftover stone, just kind of used up every little inch of it, and a dog bed. And I want to show you a cute little trick here. We designed a dog door that is hidden within my door moldings, trims, and so it actually just comes right down. Boop. And you don't even see it. We went crazy with wallpaper in this space. We wanted it to feel really fun, and with that we put some birds on the ceiling in here. She wanted this room to just kind of feel homey to her. Right when you walk upstairs, it's our landing here, and it actually is the home to 3 different bedrooms. With these beautiful like old Tudor homes, you're gonna have these dormers, and they kind of create a little bit of a challenge with our ceiling treatments. But I think we use this space really well. We got really creative on how we're gonna design the layout of it. They actually use this room more often than they thought. So again, this is kind of just a little living room off of our bedrooms here, and more of a functional space to kind of just hang out in. Now we're going into the daughter's bedroom, and this is the room that we wanted to create a little bit more of that anthropology look. And so in that we did a really pretty green century bed, paired it with this beautiful brass chandelier from Visual Comfort. And on the floor, again, you'll see our Persian rug gallery. This rug, we took more of the antique look. So it's gonna be a little bit rougher on the foot, but it just gives that really vintage vibe that we're looking for. And we paired it with 2 antique chests on the ends. It's a fun old world room that we made a little bit more modern. This is her daughter's closet. And in this room, we have really a cool ceiling detail. We did wallpaper actually on the ceiling again in here, and paired it with a nice Visual Comfort fixture. In the daughter's bathroom, we did the Savoy tile in cottonwood, and we laid it in a herringbone pattern going this way. When you come around the corner here, we've got a soaking tub with our beautiful Mia tile that just kind of ties everything together. We paired it again with a wallpaper in here just to add some color. This room is its own little gem. I mean, this is where You know, the daughter could have fun with what she wanted and what I could give her that looked great and cohesive. In this space, we used 3 different Ansax tiles because we wanted them to be cohesive but also play differently. So we used a 12 by 24 in our tub, and then we used the herringbone pattern on our floor, which is a Savoy. And again, we paired that with our beehive pattern as a backsplash. Our cabinetry in here is a painted finish, and we did Farrow & Ball Studio Green. We included larger upper cabinets, and it just gives us that extra storage that we needed in here. This is the grandson's room, and he loves trains. He's such a boy. We wanted to create this room for him to like grow up in. We actually used an existing rug that she brought from her previous house. We have a Vanguard bed, some nightstands, just a nice playful room. This bathroom was designed to be able to use it from her grandson's bedroom and also from the loft. We have the St. Louis floor here from Ansax on the floor, a 12 by 24, and we paired that with the Savoy and did a horizontal stack on that. So the Savoy that we picked out is actually the linen finish, and it's just a nice soft hue of a gray. So for me, this is more of just that neutral palette, and it's very easy to live with. A design detail that we included in this house was, how do you roll in a 12-foot Christmas tree and just roll it back into a closet? And we designed a closet based on the size of a Christmas tree. So you'll see that it is full Christmas storage for her, and it's right off of her first floor. Come on into the primary suite. The design intent of this space was to make it feel like it's a spa. You're kind of going into those really soft sea blues. The king bed that we put right between the 2 windows. And it's a beautiful century furniture piece paired with some century nightstands and also a dresser. You'll see that we have huge windows kind of throughout the entire house, and how we treated that and bring in a little bit of a cozy feel is with window treatments. The rug was our first selection in this entire space, and we knew that we wanted this palette based on the rug, so that we're designing from the floor up here. And what's really great about this rug is it has those 2 tones again, so you're gonna get a dark side and a light side, and we have this rug turned so that you see more of the dark side and that contrast. Come on into our primary suite, and this is where we have used that Pierre Noir. So our Belgian limestone continues all the way from our bathroom right into our walk-in shower. And we created that look so that it's just a seamless entry. And we paired that with our glacé. It's a large slab. We wanted to do very little grout joints in here. And it's just a beautiful foundation for like a large ceiling height shower. The arch entry was a design detail that we kind of mimicked in this space. We also have it in our walk-in closet. The conversation of having an arched right beside a straight door was very comical. So the client and I actually won this argument, and she wanted to have an arched door just to have that like softer feeling inside this space. So when you're in here, it's just a cozier, more relaxed look. We added a large window in this bathroom so that we could have that natural light. So this looked just about right to have a almost floor to ceiling window. The design challenge behind it is that you're super exposed in here. So what we did to kind of help ease that is to put in our blackout shade. In our primary suite, we used Waterworks Bond for our wall mount fixtures, and we had custom backplates made so that it hid all of the hardware itself. And it's just a really nice, simple look. We took the countertop and went up and just did a really nice, detailed backsplash. I want people to feel, as they walk into this house, still cozy. You know, typical English Tudors, you've got those really grand ceilings. So even in this 14-foot ceiling room, I wanted to feel cozy and welcoming, not like a magazine. And so I think as you walk through here, you'll kind of get that feeling as well. We're kind of just on this high still of like just finishing this beautiful masterpiece.
Clients really describe our work as very comfortable, very approachable, yet there's some elegance and sophistication to it that they appreciate. Our underlying ethos is always about comfort, and we think every home should be something you want to enjoy living in, not just looking at.
We've done beautiful modern Spanish homes, and we've done more traditional or more contemporary leaning, but there's always a timelessness and a comfort. I've known Denise and the family for a little over 13 years. This woman in a family of all boys. I start dating one of them and was looking to do something more creative.
It was a little leap of faith for both of us. I mean, this is a little company that had a lot of business, and I think it's been really a lot of fun. Yeah. I'm Denise Morrison.
I'm Rachel Morrison.
We're with Morrison Interiors.
And we're based in Orange County, California.
We're in Hayden Lake, Idaho, and it is just the most quaint, beautiful location. We were able to purchase a lot that was right on the water, and the community is so small town, yet you have everything you need. It's very charming. The goal of this particular home, because it is my home, was to create what we're calling like a legacy home for our family. We have 4 sons, we have 3 daughter-in-laws, a son that's engaged, and 5 grandchildren right now. When the opportunity came to purchase these lots, build something new and special, we were just really excited. I really love Brandon Architects, and in particular Chris Brandon, and I gave their team 5 pictures of sort of inspo that I was drawn to, and I asked them to think about it as almost like separate buildings. Architecturally, I really let them run with it, and I was thrilled with the results. Welcome to Idaho.
Come on in and take a look.
When you walk into the entry, you just get this expansive view of the lake. We think it's super dramatic, and we love how the architect did the double volume windows.
You'll see the siding from the exterior that pulls in into this entryway, giving this connectivity between interior and exterior.
We're now entering into the great room. This space we wanted to really function well for a crowd, but also have a lot of open airy moments where kids could play on the floor, or you just didn't feel crowded. The bench on the fireplace is a really nice extra seating moment that we were really excited to have, and then some really key furniture pieces as well.
A really organic coffee table. It's basically all these sliced different pieces of wood that has been layered upon each other, and it feels really fitting for the place that we are in. And then the fabrics, I think everything in here just like beckons to be sat in. It's a really special place in the home.
We're now in the kitchen in front of this beautiful island. It was actually something I really enjoyed designing. I wanted the exterior sort of tabletop to feel a little floaty around this very anchored and large base. And then we picked slabs that are just so beautiful, have this crystallization and quartz going on in them with some patterning.
And then we selected this beautiful faucet from Callista, the Juxtaposed collection. Its height is something that we really love, and its clean line, simple form. It just complements the aesthetic of the home overall, but it also just is a great finish. It's gonna be super durable, and it's gonna get a lot of use here, so that was important.
So one of my favorite parts about the kitchen is actually the back kitchen, or sometimes we reference them as dirty kitchens in our projects. We have a great sink, we have an extra oven, microwave, dishwasher, all the things. And then it was really fun to just kind of style it with some of our extra plates and things we wanted to have handy, but out of the way. We were able to really lean into this beautiful dark color for the pantry. So inside we have all these great shelves for storage. And then we love the Savoy collection by Anne Sachs. We use it in almost every project. It's just a great look, great texture, and lots of color options. Our sister company, House of Morrison, makes most beautiful furniture to the trade. So we were able to design some pieces real specific to this home, including this beautiful Thea dining table. We love the irregular shape. We think it makes it multifunctional, and it also seats so many people, which is fantastic. And then we designed these dining chairs that have this kind of coiled effect. They don't feel like something that's gonna be precious or fall over or not stand the test of time. This particular space was really meant to be what we call the upstairs bar. I think it's really nice, especially off of the dining table. It can function in a couple different ways. Make a drink, we have beautiful cabinetry disguising some refrigeration, and the proximity to the dining table makes it special because we have this great surface. If we're doing a buffet or serving, this is a great place to, you know, put your food and lay it out in a nice way.
Powder rooms are always a place where we like to have a little fun, maybe take more of a design risk per se. And I think this powder room is one where we really played up that contrast in the home. So we've got this, you know, stronger black backsplash on the vanity, and then it's complemented by this very textural, almost ethereal, more ivory wallpaper. We also love the fixture by Callista, the Pina Paletta collection in the natural brass. So we're walking into the downstairs lounge room, game room, bar. It's a lot of things. And this space, we designed the layout of the furniture with a lot of the lounging, gathering, more casual hanging out, because this space connects to the lower level exterior, which leads down to the lake. So we really see this as, during the summer, the doors are gonna be wide open and people are gonna be coming in and out. The lower level bar is offering a lot of different functionalities. So I think it's this space for people to grab beverages or snacks before heading to the lake. We liked the idea of introducing something with interest on this backside. We used the Ann Sachs Renata tile with the fluted detailing, and we love the contrast that it adds.
I think this powder room is really fun. I think we mixed a lot of different elements between the textured tile backsplash. This slatted wall gives just a hint of privacy. This little pole right here can be a great spot to put a tea towel if you needed to hang something, you know, and then the wallpaper, of course, added that luxury to the space.
And we love the collection from Callista, the Pina Paletta. We did the unlacquered brass again here, and that's gonna patina and age over time. And it's kind of like this little glitter moment that you have.
A little glamour to our very rustic Western, you know, vibe.
Laundry rooms are always a place where we feel like we should have something that makes you feel happy. I think a little color can be fun. So we don't have a ton of painted cabinetry in this house, but in the laundry room in particular, we have this really subtle kind of buttery yellow color on the cabinets, which we love.
And I think this has a lot of functionality to it. It comes in off the garage. You've got a bench, you need to take your shoes off, you need to hang up a coat or your cowboy hat.
Yes.
And if you need to get upstairs quickly, maybe have groceries, we have an elevator here, which is really nicely disguised, but is a great opportunity if you've got a whole bunch of bags to get upstairs. This bunk room was especially fun to design. We loved this horseshoe wallpaper. Some girl grandchildren, some boy grandchildren, so we needed something that would kind of suit everybody. But they love this bunk room. They just think it's their little play space. We designed it with lots of great storage too. So lots of place for toys. They have shelves they keep their books on.
Something fun to incorporate when you're designing a bunk room is a little reading light for each of the sleeping areas. And we also like to incorporate like little shelves for each area too. So perhaps they're all going to bed, but one of them wants to read a little bit later, or, you know, keep their books or special little objects next to them, they have a little space to do that.
Our grandchildren, your children, they really wanted to accessorize their own shelves.
Yes.
So you will see they're very personalized with their choice of books and toys and cowboy hat and all the things.
They want to climb on the ladders, they want to climb up into their own little areas and kind of put their things away, and it's so sweet and special.
So designing this was especially fun because we got to think about, what do little kids need? Well, often they need a little step up for their washing their hands. So into the cabinetry, you'll notice you have a little step for them to be able to reach the handles, wash their hands.
I think also like the color palette in this bathroom, it lends itself to a little bit more of like a playfulness and feels really connected to the bunk room. It was like sized for them.
We love the little touch of brass. Again, this is that beautiful finish that will patina over time, and Callista did the faucetry for us, and I think it's just beautiful.
This is the junior primary of the house, and this is really what I would consider the premier guest room, opposite from the side that the primary is on. So you really have a lot of peacefulness and privacy on this side that I think is lovely. One of my favorite moments is the kind of punch of crimson and leather that you see.
This bed with these gorgeous wood details, it's also present on the back of the bed because when the shades are up, you can actually see that. And we wanted something to be really pretty from both inside and out. And then we love this beautiful rug, again, kind of taking those earthy tones that allowed us to punch with some crimson on the leather or a little green moment on the bedding. It made a big difference to have it kind of quiet on the ground.
This is the junior primary bath. It does have a freestanding tub as well as a shower, which just really completes that full suite experience, I think. The tub filler is a little bit different than what you see all the time. So this is like a playful way and a different, more interesting way to do it, where we have the tub filler, but the levers, the way to turn on the water, control the hot and cold, are over here. The lovely marble slab that we have, it has those moments of terracotta that we've seen repeated in the home. We complemented that with the one collection from Callista in the black finish, and it just has a really clean form that fits perfectly in this more modern bathroom.
We're in the primary suite now, and this was a fun place to design. To include a fireplace in your bedroom, I think is a really luxury moment. It feels really nice.
Feels really serene, like how you always want your primary bedroom to feel. I think at the end of the day, it's where you rest and retire.
When you wake up in the morning and you see this view, it is like an ever-changing painting. It is so spectacular. So the primary bathroom is just so beautiful, and I think there's a lot of little luxury moments in here that I think really added to the experience. We have heated floors below this beautiful Ansex Noir Sully limestone, which the character of it is so interesting. And then you juxtapose that with this beautiful tub.
Yes, that tub's incredible.
The carving of the tub itself is like, you know, pretty much sculptural. And then of course you get to enjoy that beautiful view.
Yeah, I think the placement of that tub, I mean, it's like a jewel box, right? And that's kind of the piece of art that's just perfectly positioned in it.
And then for this case, we did have a floor mount Callista tub faucet. So then a bench or a little stool works beautifully for when you're bathing and want just a few things close by. And in this space, we really stuck with one slab, lots and lots of them, but really just letting the natural texture of the slab be the star of this shower and the vanity. Getting to the end was super rewarding. I've been married for almost 40 years, and my husband has had this dream. I can remember him talking about it when we first were married. And so there's a little bit of fulfillment of something really special for him as well. An amazing partner, an amazing husband, really has supported me so much and our family that to be able to almost, it's a little bit of a gift to him as well.
to build this home from the ground up, to be able to have all the bells and whistles and enjoy all those wonderful things that we specify for a lot of our clients, but now it's for our family, is so cool to see. And it has been like a huge labor of love, years in the making, and now we get to enjoy it.